What happens when two communist allies turn on each other in a war of betrayal, genocide, and global politics? Sounds like a twist in a Cold War thriller. But it really happened. So here's the story. In the late 70s, Vietnam and Cambodia were both led by communist regimes, fresh off their revolutions. On the surface, they should have been allies. But instead, Vietnam invaded Cambodia in 1978. Why? What could cause two supposed brothers-in-arms to go to war? Well, the short answer is history, paranoia, and a whole lot of Cold War tension. Vietnam had just unified after decades of bloody war, backed mostly by the Soviet Union. Meanwhile, Cambodia, renamed Democratic Kampuchea, was under the control of the Khmer Rouge, led by Pol Pot and supported by China. Now, these guys weren't just extreme. Pol Pot carried out a brutal genocide, wiping out around a quarter of Cambodia's population in 4 years. People were executed for having an education, for praying, or for being part of an ethnic minority. It was horrifying. And Pol Pot? He wasn't done. To drum up nationalist support, he claimed Vietnam was planning an invasion. His troops began launching raids into Vietnamese villages, killing civilians, hoping to intimidate their bigger neighbor. Spoiler alert, it backfired. Vietnam, already hosting Cambodian defectors fleeing Pol Pot's purges, decided to put an end to the madness. In late 1978, they launched a full-scale invasion. Within weeks, Phnom Penh fell, the Khmer Rouge was ousted, and a new, Vietnam-aligned government was installed. Now you'd think the world would applaud Vietnam for stopping a genocide, right? Nope. China saw Vietnam's move as a power grab, and the West, fresh from fighting communism in Vietnam, wasn't exactly lining up to say good job. So the new Cambodian government got little recognition, and Vietnam spent the next decade stuck in a grinding guerrilla war. Eventually, the UN stepped in. Cambodia began to stabilize, its monarchy was restored, and the Khmer Rouge faded into history. But that conflict? It shattered the idea of a united communist front and exposed the complex, ugly truth behind Cold War alliances. If you thought the Cold War was just two superpowers glaring at each other across a nuclear fence, think again. This war showed just how messy and brutal things really got, even when everyone claimed to be on the same side.